like a year ago, a year now and 2 years ago when Dave first reached out about he wanted to expand from just him supporting, from him being the primary maintainer of MoveIt as a PhD student to starting a company around it. And it's unreal to see how much that very symbiotic relationship has it been able to really push forward MoveIt. Oh, some quick housekeeping. If you'd like to give a lightning talk, please do. Otherwise, I'm just going to be up here talking about anything. I might even show pictures of my dog. Yeah, just sign up or come find me during a coffee break, and I'll just write names down. If you want PDFs, either email them or bring a laptop. Or yeah. Other things, we're going to do a photo at the coffee break. We want to get everyone together and nice smiling faces. And then also, if you're giving a talk later, just make sure you come up here and test your laptop and iron out any technical difficulties that you might have. It's really awkward being up there struggling with laptop difficulties in front of a room full of people. Yeah. Great. So I'm here to talk about progress we've made towards MoveIt 2. Yeah, as Dave was pointing out, MoveIt is huge. It does a lot of really cool things. And so porting it, and it touches a lot of different types of interfaces. So the plugin architecture, all of the different setup assistants and all that. So porting MoveIt to MoveIt 2 is a big undertaking, and we're really excited to be spearheading that. So I want to give a shout out to Accutronics. Accutronics did an awesome thing. They really wanted to push MoveIt to ROS 2. They reached out to us and said, hey, you guys are, we'd like to engage with you guys as experts and help be our community liaisons and our advisors in this port. So targeted dashing dementia. They were able to do some really great work towards that. They added OSX support. But yeah, so progress made towards that. Most of MoveIt Core and MoveIt ROS has been ported to ROS 2. External dependencies have been ported. CI infrastructure has been set up. So MoveIt CI now works with ROS 2. They were able to show you a really cool video showing simple planning of joint state goals. And unfortunately, Accutronics is no more. And so that kind of put the brakes on that stage of the process. But we've been picking that up, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, they were able to do really cool things with the Mara. And yeah. Yeah, so again, MoveIt, super complex. Lots of pieces to connect together. Yeah, our goal is we want to have a beta version of it out by Q1 of 2020. We got funding from Rosen, which we're really excited about. We have 2 developers working half-time. And so the goal of that is to do straight port. Take the things that Accutronic did, really get them to ROS planning quality so that they can be merged into MoveIt, and we can put seal of approval on that. But also filling out the feature set. So this will take us pretty far into the port, but yeah, we're very actively looking for more funding to continue that effort. But yeah, so this got moved up. We're right now in milestone 1. You are here. But yeah, so the goal of that is a straight port, fully migrating existing MoveIt packages to ROS 2. Big part of that is using Ament, the ROS 2 build system, and then also clean up of the code base there. And then I'm going to hand it off to Dave to talk about bringing Dave back up here, to talk about where we're trying to go with MoveIt 2 and milestone 2 and 3.
Pulled back up here again. Yeah, just real quick, we're running out of time for this section, but thank you, Mike, and we'll be hearing from you more later today. Just the future milestone is the survey results. You see at the bottom here, we did a survey recently of our community, and we really heard what our users are asking for. They're most excited about real-time control in ROS2, and then that's what ROS2, the big things enables. So I attended that workshop, the real-time workshop earlier this week, and we've been working with the learnings of the navigation stack with Matt Hansen and friends. And the second result from the survey is reactive planning. So right now, MoveIt's really good at the global planning and planning very complex plans, but not reacting to sensor input quickly. And then that was part of an artifact of ROS1 wasn't designed to be real time, and that wasn't any of the objectives when MoveIt was originally created. And so we want to add that, and so we have the plan up here for real time, better integration with ROS control, the low-level controllers, and dynamics. And that'll be covered maybe, I think, by Mark's a bit. But on the real-time support, we want to have the visual servoing aspect of it. And so quickly, if something's moving, the arm will react to it. We already can do that with our components, but it's not out of the box. We have to do some custom code and mix and match and typically remove some of the ROS middleware. We want to make it so that just quickly set up and this just works for you. If you jump in front of the robot, we already have that feature, but again, it's not fully built out, so we can preempt motion, making that a first-class feature of the MoveIt 2.0. Really doubling down on two different types of planners, global planners and local planners, running at different frequencies. So our global planners are like OMPL. We want that running maybe at 30 hertz is our target right now, and then our local planner 10x that, 300 hertz, and that's the level that a lot of robots are streaming velocity commands down to your servos. So getting that concept of two separate ones, this is the time to do it, and that's milestone 2. And then zero memory copy. And then there's already been some work on this from Pills on their industrial motion project. So that's something that was also funded by Rosen, and so we threw that in here because they want to see collaborations between Rosen efforts. And then the third milestone for this initial effort is, like Mike said, it's a straight port. There's so many new ways of doing things in ROS2 that we want to leverage. The component lifecycle nodes is a big one, replacing the plugins, but that'll be a big effort. And there's no way that the current Rosen grant effort that we've mentioned is going to cover this milestone 3, or not even milestone 2 so much. So there's that. Overall, using this chance to clean up API, and Robert will be talking later today about one of the big APIs we want to overhaul for kinematics. And then lifecycle management of nodes. It's exciting that ROS2 has this, shutting down, startup, reset, adding that to our feature set. And so I just went through the real-time support, and overall, our vision is that we want MoveIt to be the globally recognized motion planner. We want to be highly capable. It's going to stay open source. It's really cool, the vibrant community we have behind it. And our target is organizations of all sizes. So that means that the biggest companies, like we've worked with big companies like Google before using MoveIt, all the way down to your startups, to your undergrad educational class. We think our tutorials stand alone, and anyone can learn the basic concepts of motion planning through our framework. Maybe not high schoolers, that's a little too low down there. This stuff's really complicated, but if they want to, we have also high schoolers using this. But yeah, all sizes. We work with a lot of startups who have their VC funding, and so keeping MoveIt able to serve all those areas is really hard and maybe impossible. So we'll hear from our panel later today about that dilemma. And the bigger picture of our milestones, we have this bottom section of future milestones. Determinism is something that we also have gotten so much feedback from our clients, from the community, like why does my path take a little bit extra distance? Like why is it a little creative? Why is it dancing around? Well, the reason is computational limitations. And so the algorithms we use are fast, but they trade off optimality. We have solutions for this. A lot of the research out of the Kravaki lab has solved this at other research labs. It's just we got to get that into MoveIt, and we're close, but that's a future milestone. Also, Cartesian capabilities could really be improved, so we've grouped that into determinism as well. And then there's need for better state machines, better interfaces, the pick-and-place pipeline, really getting rid of that and replacing it with the task instructor, and that's well underway already. And then we've recently been really reading the literature behind machine learning approaches. They've seemed to be catching up to our field, and so there's some recent work out of Berkeley that we've been looking at in PNet, and using those in creative ways. You can't just throw out the whole problem and throw away all of MoveIt. It's the best of my understanding, and my PhD was not in machine learning. It was in a different type of planning, that MoveIt does, but we can throw this to the way we sample states in a search. We can put it on the vision system, of course, lots of success there. Intel is going to talk about their approach using grasping, and so dropping it in the right places, and we have a plugin ecosystem that allows us to do that already. So it has the underpinnings for that. So I think that's the overall roadmap, but we're also, you see that these bottom ones we haven't listed in order. Those are, we're open to changing those based on the needs from the community, needs from sponsors. And so this afternoon, we'll really want to hear from you guys, what are your pain points? And so we're going to break out into groups, and we're going to discuss this, so stay tuned. And with that, who's up?